As Phase 4 of the MCU rolls out, we are slowly starting to gather more and more info on which of our favorite characters are going to be coming back to the big and small screens. Some of these have already been confirmed and some haven't, but I wanted to share my top 10 characters I am excited and hopeful to see in this current phase of the MCU. At number 10, we have Everett K. Ross. This character is one of the best representatives of S.H.I.E.L.D. in any MCU movie in my opinion, bringing more humanity to the organization. Martin Freeman's portrayal of Agent Ross, however innocent and vulnerable as he comes across, shows that the agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. can actually be interesting characters even in the midst of an action-packed Marvel movie. To be fair, I haven't delved deep into the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. series, but my position stands in relation to the big box office movies. In Black Panther, Martin Freeman's portrayal of Agent Ross is faced with the challenge of keeping up with the fast-paced, technologically advanced landscape of Wakanda, and I think he does a pretty damn good job. But as we all know, good acting is only in support of the writing of good character, and although there are far more interesting characters in Black Panther, Agent Ross plays his part quite well. And we hope that he comes back in the upcoming Wakanda Forever dropping later this year. At number 9, we have Nick Fury. In the upcoming Secret Invasion mini-series, we are expecting to see Nick Fury as the frontrunner of the story, and I'm looking forward to it. There's no doubt that seeing Nick Fury just brings us back to the Avenger days, and with the craziness of what Secret Invasion will bring, it'll be really cool to have Samuel L. Jackson's iconic character grounding the series the way he does. With no confirmed Avengers movie in the works as of posting this video, Secret Invasion might have to scratch that itch for the time being. And aside from Fury, we might be able to expect some other cameos in the process as well. We'll just need to discriminate which ones are the real deal and which ones are the Skrulls, which I'm very excited about. Either way, we look forward to hearing confirmation on who else is going to be in this series, but it looks like we can be sure to see Sam Jackson in the forefront. At number 8, we have Miss Marvel. Although this character is already part of the Phase 4 rollout, headlining her own self-titled series, it's also pretty much confirmed that she'll be appearing in the new 2023 movie The Marvels as well. And it'll be really cool to see how Iman Vellani's Miss Marvel holds up in the context of a full-fledged Marvel movie. And knowing that Miss Marvel is a super fan as much as she is a superhero, it'll be fun to see her dynamic with Captain Marvel on the big screen. I have a feeling it'll harken back to the early relationship between Spider-Man and Iron Man when he was just joining the Avengers, which will be pretty fun. Either way, I think Miss Marvel is going to be a really cool character to watch grow in the MCU, and we're already going to start seeing that arc take form with this new movie coming up in 2023. At number 7, we have Iron Lad. Iron Lad is a young adult version of Iron Man who first appears in the Young Avengers comics. But although he only appears for a handful of issues, his backstory gets a rich lore, including a nod to him being the younger, heroic version of Kang the Conqueror. This also pretty much confirms that aside from being a very capable Iron Man variant, Iron Lad is a time traveler, which means he could be appearing in any of these new titles lined up in Phase 4. Well, technically he is confirmed to be appearing in the upcoming Ant-Man sequel since Kang the Conqueror is already set as the main villain in Quantumania. So maybe we'll see Iron Lad somewhere in there as well, like perhaps in the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special as a cameo. Realistically, he's more likely to appear briefly as a reference to more screen time in Phase 5, or not at all, and maybe we'll just see him in Phase 5, or neither, but I'm still holding out for his appearance somewhere in this current rollout. At number 6, we have Jane Foster as Thor. Jane Foster is confirmed to be in the new Thor movie coming up, but what I'm most looking forward to and hoping for is that she appears as the God of Thunder, an event that takes place in the comics when Thor is forced to retire his mantle. Because as much as the character isn't supposed to be very strong yet in the Dark World, Jane Foster really hasn't shined thus far, and it's about time that she does. Now, it's pretty obvious that she will looking at the new trailers for Thor Love and Thunder, but I really hope that she actually takes up the mantle of Thor and maybe even, I don't know, marries Thor? Hey, if they're gonna be authentic to the comics, they're gonna have to tie the knot at some point. So I guess we'll see in a month. Or not even a month, what day is it? At number 5 is Andrew Garfield's The Amazing Spider-Man. Alright, this is kind of a silly one because firstly, he's already appeared in Phase 4, and secondly, because he's already been sent back to his dimension at the end of No Way Home. But I personally was just so impressed with his performance in No Way Home and the level of humor and humanity he brought to the movie that I just want to see more of it. Maybe in Secret Invasion there's a chance that Nick Fury could travel to his world and he can help in identifying the imposter version of Spider-Man perhaps, or I don't know, something like that. Honestly, I really doubt it, but I really like this angle that Marvel has been exploring in Phase 4 where they blatantly give in to fan service. And if the fan service is working, why stop there? Yes, of course, seeing Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man will be cool too, but something about Andrew Garfield being this like conflicted, self-deprecating, and vulnerable version of the hero really added a lot for me. At number 4 is Green Goblin. Okay, before you accuse me of just fanboying over No Way Home, this one is actually being rumored, so I felt like I could justify 2 Spider-Man characters in a row. In the original Secret Invasion storyline, S.H.I.E.L.D. is disbanded after failing to contain the Skrull invasion and is subsequently replaced with Hammer. Hammer is a newer organization with a similar function to S.H.I.E.L.D., headed by none other than a heroic Norman Osborn. So, if they stay true to the comics in this new Secret Invasion series, we can possibly expect to see an Earth 616 Norman Osborn doing some good work later in his life. It's unclear, of course, if this will actually happen, and even if it does, if Osborn would actually bring out the glider and Goblin mask again, but I'm holding out for it. At number 3 is Gamora. So, Gamora is basically confirmed to be returning in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 despite her untimely and quite finite death in Infinity War. And it's unclear why or how this could happen, but the character is set to make an appearance all the same. I mean, I'm glad to see it, and I could look for leaks on how she makes it back, but I think it's more fun to wait and see how writers will deal with this return when the movie actually drops, because it's gonna be a challenge to justify it, unless she comes back as like an apparition. But I don't know, throw your guesses down below in the comment section and we can chat about it. I mean, they're bringing back Nick Fury, even though he disintegrates with Thanos' snap, and they're saying that he was a Skrull all along, which kind of makes sense. So maybe Gamora will have an equally simple justification for her return, or maybe there will be more to it. I'm hoping there will be more to it personally, and that's precisely why she's high on the list, because I'm interested to see if this will be done well or not. Either way, I'm just excited to see her back in action because she's a badass character that the MCU can't go without. At number 2, we have Galactus. This is one of the most requested character returns in the MCU, considering how enormous of a character he is, both physically, of course, and metaphorically. And also just considering how underrepresented he's been in the MCU thus far, appearing in an extremely brief and underwhelming, to say the least, cameo in the 2007 Fantastic Four film, Rise of the Silver Surfer. It just wasn't enough for fans, including myself, and let's be honest, the Fantastic Four franchise just hasn't been working as part of the MCU. So I think we could expect to see Galactus in another movie before they finally nail a Fantastic Four movie. Unless they follow through the John Krasinski thing, because then maybe we might expect a Fantastic Four movie sooner. But within Phase 4, we better see Galactus in some way. He's such a seminal character that if we don't see him in Phase 4, we have to at least see him in the next rollout at some point. Maybe the Devourer of Worlds will appear in Secret Invasion, since the setting of that show is going to be largely cosmic. And yes, I realize a lot of these predictions are pointed at Secret Invasion. I guess I've just got really high hopes for that one. The pressure's on. Finally, at number 1, we have Shuri, the Wakandan warrior originally debuting in the 2018 Black Panther film. This character takes the number 1 spot for a couple of reasons. Firstly, I just think her character pops the most out of all the secondary characters in the 2018 movie. And secondly, because of course after the tragic and untimely passing of Chadwick Boseman, I just see Shuri as the only option to take T'Challa's place as the lead character in the Black Panther franchise, unless of course they just replace the character's actor entirely. But it seems like she'll be in this movie in a big part regardless. She's like the Tony Stark of Wakanda, with an adept grasp on Wakandan technology and the implementation of vibranium and weaponry and armor. She also shows that she's able to keep her cool in high intensity situations, like the role she plays in the big car chase scene in the 2018 movie. And listen, I know what you're thinking. Ben, she's already confirmed as the main character in Wakanda Forever, okay? I know. I just like to pretend I didn't know that because I would have made this argument before she was confirmed anyway. I really think this is going to be a great new installment, and I genuinely trust Marvel to do everything in their power to honor Chadwick Boseman with a sweet new installment for the franchise. A franchise that was undoubtedly led by his great performance, but that also includes some other great characters like Shuri that will keep the upcoming sequels fresh and powerful. Okay, that was the list for today. Thanks for watching. Please leave a comment on this one and let's talk about the characters we're most excited to see in this new phase and in Phase 5. which is pretty well around the corner at this point. I'll do my best to answer you, so let's talk. This has been Top 10 Nerd. I've been your host, Ben Ball, and you know the rest.